Dirt Rally 2.0 is at its best when you're on the limit, pushing your car and your driving skill to the peak of their abilities. Driving at speed with confidence is a significant challenge. If you want to go faster but don't know how, I'm here to help. Let's get started. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well today. My name is PJ and today I'll show you how to get faster in Dirt Rally 2.0. We'll be looking at a few things that go beyond the basic tips you've seen before. These tips have helped me improve rapidly over time, and I'm sure they'll help you too. If you ever have questions about Dirt Rally 2.0 or any other racing game, you'll find me live on Twitch every Friday. The link is in the description. Also, if you find this video useful and you want to see more ways to get better at racing games, subscribe to the channel for more videos, but for now, let's get started. Dirt Rally 2.0 is a game that requires a high level of concentration, and any distractions are opportunities to win a one-way ticket to the nearest tree. That's why I would recommend disabling as much of the heads-up display as you can, so that your eyes can focus clearly on the road ahead. When you turn off the co-driver symbols, you will naturally pay more attention to the voice in your ear telling you what corners are coming up, which lets you prepare for them better. Also, by turning off the various timing elements, your eyes won't get distracted by red or green boxes popping up, which could potentially take your attention away from the road at a critical moment. Turning the progress bar off also has another benefit, in that you're not letting your progress influence your emotions when driving. When you see a red or green box flash on the screen saying you're close to beating your opponent, you may be tempted to push harder to beat them and drive beyond your limits. This can lead to frustration when you inevitably fail, and result in you going slower over time. Personally, I disable every display element except for the rev meter, which I only keep as a subtle reminder of what gear I'm in. This lets me focus on the road ahead, and more importantly, on my driving performance. Weight transfer is something every car and driver is impacted by, and in Dirt Rally 2.0 it's no different. How quickly you go through some corners is mainly dictated by how much weight you place over certain sides of the car. When the weight of the car is placed over a set of tyres, those tyres are pushed down into the ground, giving them more grip. More grip in the right places means you can take corners faster. When you want to turn, you put the weight over the front tyres, and when you want to go straight, you put the weight over the rear. A good way to see this in action is at the start of a stage in a powerful car. When you get off the line, the car will pitch rearward, as the weight is being pushed towards the back of the car. If you brake sharply, the car will dive forward, throwing the weight to the front. Knowing this, you will be able to make more informed decisions when driving through corners. If you're in a long turn, for example, that requires some throttle and rotation, letting off the throttle slightly can send more weight to the front, preventing understeer. Weight transfer is not limited to the front and rear, however. It can also pitch side to side when you turn. If you turn hard to the right, the weight of the car will go to the left, and the car will lean in that direction. If you rapidly turn in the other direction, you can throw all of that weight to the other side and flick the entire car through a turn. This can be immensely useful through chicanes, switchback turns, and before tight hairpins. To try this out, let's head to Yas Marina in a modern rallycross car. Coming into the first part of the chicane, we turn left, sending the weight to the right hand side of the car. With the weight fully loaded, we then quickly brake and turn right at the same time, which does two things. First, it sends some weight to the front so that the tyres have more grip. This, combined with the switch from left to right, throws the weight we loaded previously over to the left of the car, swinging it around a tight turn. Once the car has started swinging, we can get back on the power again for a quick exit. Once you gain a more nuanced understanding of weight transfer, you can manipulate it in multiple ways, ensuring you have the right amount of grip in the right places, which makes you go faster. With the weight of the car under your control, more advanced driving techniques present themselves to you. One of these is the concept of left foot braking. If you play on a controller, this may come naturally to you, whereas if you drive a real car, it might be something new. In its simplest terms, left foot braking means keeping your left foot solely dedicated to the brake pedal, whereas in most situations it would be used exclusively for a clutch, with your right foot switching between braking and accelerating. In rallying and other forms of motorsport, left foot braking helps in a number of ways. First, you have more immediate access to the brake, which means you spend less time coasting. If you use your right foot for both functions, there is going to be a short period of time between when you lift off the accelerator and hit the brake, time that could have been used to keep accelerating. Left foot braking also allows you to brake later, as you're not adding the transition time to your approach. It's a fraction of a second each time you brake, but over a long stage it could mean as much as 5 to 10 seconds overall. The second benefit is that you can develop stronger muscle memory when each foot is dedicated to a singular function. The amount of force needed to push a brake pedal is often different to when you're on the accelerator, and using one foot to switch between both could result in erratic braking performance. By having your left foot solely dedicated to braking, you will learn to apply the brakes in more sensitive ways, improving your performance. Finally, left foot braking opens up the possibility of using the brake and the accelerator at the same time, which is very useful in various scenarios. Brakes do more than slow a car down, they also help shift weight towards the front of the car as we learned earlier. In some corners you don't need to slow down much, but you do want some more weight over the front tyres. Gently braking while on the throttle can shift a little weight to the front, maintaining high speed through the turn. Also, as you're not shifting too much weight around, the car is more stable, meaning you stay in control for longer. The Team O'Neill Rally School has an excellent video showcasing this technique and how it makes you go faster. I'll link it in the description. Time trials have been a staple of racing games for decades, where you only have one goal: to set the fastest time you possibly can. It is here that you can rapidly improve your pace with a technique I call ladder climbing. To start, choose a stage and a car you want to improve with. Then head out on the road and do a clean run. This will give you a base time. Head back into the service area and look at the leaderboards. What you want to do here is look for a driver who is around 1 second ahead of you, and set them as a ghost before heading back out to the stage. Now, instead of simply driving in the hope you'll improve, you have a target to chase, one that is already better than your current best. This will subconsciously encourage you to go faster, while your opponent's ghost also reveals new approaches to each corner. They may be taking a wide line in some, braking later in others, or going flat out in places you lift. Once you've beaten the ghost, head back into the service area and find a player that's 1 second faster than your new personal best and repeat the process. As you continue to do this over and over, you will rapidly gain pace until you hit a performance ceiling. This is a technique I have used to great success in multiple racing games, and one I would recommend everybody try out at least once. If you're looking for more tips on how to get better at Dirt Rally 2.0 and other racing games, I have several guides available. Check out the playlist on the right to get started. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe, which helps the channel grow. Have a great day and good luck out there on the road.